Every old house has secrets. Some are harmless, some are not meant to be found. When you start pulling down walls, lifting floors, tearing open what's been sealed for decades, you find things that were never supposed to see the light again. These are the most disturbing things ever found during renovations, and one of them happened to me. A couple in Ohio bought an old farmhouse. They wanted to restore it, make it new again. During the first week, they noticed a smell, like metal, and ROT.IT came from one wall in the hallway. But there were no leaks. When the husband finally opened it, he found insulation, soaked through with something dark. The smell hit him like a punch. They pulled out a section of drywall, and behind it, the wooden frame was stained red. The inspector later confirmed it wasn't paint, it was dried blood. The previous owner, he'd vanished, never officially declared dead. Another case. This one from London. A construction worker named Aaron was renovating a nursery in a Victorian home. The blue wallpaper looked like it hadn't been changed since the 60s. When he started tearing up the floorboards, he found a metal plate, screwed shut. Curiosity got the better of him. He pried it open and froze. Beneath the plate was a small, rotted wooden crib. Inside were children's toys, a rattle, and a cracked porcelain doll. But that wasn't what made him run. When he turned to grab his flashlight, he heard the faint sound of laughter. Not echoing, but right behind him. He quit the job that same day. The homeowner later boarded the room shut. A renovation crew in Chicago was hired to fix up an abandoned apartment building. One of the workers, Leo, found a false wall behind the bathroom mirror. Thinking it was just bad construction, he removed it. Behind it was a small crawl space, and in that space were hundreds of photos, every single one taken through a mirror. Women brushing their hair, men shaving, kids washing their hands, all different apartments, all unaware. The earliest photos dated back to 1993 at the latest, 2 days before they started work. The police said someone had been living inside the walls, watching tenants for decades. They never found him. Then there's the story that never made the news. A man named David, renovating his late grandfather's cabin, found an old wooden box under the floor. Inside, a leather-bound journal. The entries started normal, recipes, chores, notes. But then the handwriting changed. It became erratic. The words violent. I can hear her in the walls. She keeps asking for her bones. The last entry simply read, I fed her again. She's quiet now. He burned the book that night. But the next morning, when he went to throw away the ashes, the box was back under the floor. Closed clean as if it had never been opened. My story happened last year. I bought a small fixer-upper on the edge of town. Thought I'd flip it. One of the walls felt hollow, that I assumed it was bad insulation, until I found an old, rusted latch near the baseboard. I pried it open. Inside was a crawl space barely big enough to fit a person. There were old clothes, some photos, and a phone. The screen was shattered, but it turned on. In the gallery, dozens of pictures of the house, from different angles, different rooms. Then I found one that made me drop the phone. It was a picture of me, standing at the wall, taken seconds before I opened it. Every wall hides something, every house remembers. And sometimes, when you break open what's been sealed for years, it breaks open back. What's inside your walls?